Welcome to the tutorial on PCB designing in KiCad. This tutorial will explain how to make a PCB layout using KiCad and common terms used in the PCB world. Next is what's PCB? One of the key concepts in electronics is the PCB. PCB is an acronym for printed circuit board. Printed circuit board is the most common name but also be called printed wiring boards or printed wiring cards. Before the advent of PCBs, circuits were constructed through the process of point-to-point wiring. This led to frequent failures at wire junctions and short circuits when wire insulation began to age and crack. As electronics moved from vacuum tubes and relays to silicon and integrated circuits, the size and cost of electronic components began to decrease. Electronics became more prevalent in consumer goods, and the pressure to reduce size and manufacturing costs of electronic products drove manufacturers to look for better solutions. Thus was born the PCB. It is a board that has lines and pads that connect various points together. Solder is the metal that makes the electrical connections between the surface of the PCB and the electric components. PCBs are backbone of electrical circuits. They are non-conductive bound that hold all electronic components through a circuit embossed on it. They can customize to any specifications to users' requirements. Then next is composition of PCB. A PCB is sort of like a layer cake. There are alternating layers of different materials which are laminated together with heat and adhesive such that the result is a single object. First layer is a base material or substrate is usually fiberglass. The most common designator for this fiberglass is FR4. This solid core gives the rigidity and thickness. Next layer is a thin copper foil which is laminated to the board with heat and adhesive. In double-sided PCBs, copper is applied to both sides of the substrate. The layer on the top of the copper foil is called solder mask layer. This layer gives the PCB its green color. This layer is used to insulate the copper traces from accidental contact with other metal or solder. It also helps the user to solder to the correct places and prevent solder jumpers. Then final layer is white silkscreen layer. This layer adds letters, numbers and symbols to the PCB. Then next is PCB types. There are several types of PCB boards, each with their own particular manufacturing specifications, material types and usages. So the first one is single-sided PCB. Single layer or single-sided PCB is one that is made out of a single layer of base material or substrate. One side of the base material is coated with a thin layer of metal. Once copper base plating is applied, a protective solder mask is usually applied. Then in double layer PCBs have a base material with a thin layer of conductive metals like copper applied to both sides of the PCB. So both sides of the board. Then in multi-layered PCB, it consists of a series of 3 or more double-layered PCBs. Then now that you have got an idea what a PCB structure is, let's define some terms that you hear when dealing with PCBs. First one is annular ring. Annular ring is the ring of copper around a plated through hole in PCB. Next one is plated through hole. A hole on a board which has an annular ring and which is plated all the way through the board. And next one is pad, a portion of exposed metal on the surface of a board to which a component is soldered. And next is DRC, design rule check, a software check of your design to make sure that design does not contain errors like traces that incorrectly touch, traces too skinny, or drill holes that are too small. Next is drill hit. Places on a design where a holes should be drilled or where they actually were drilled on the board. Inaccurate drill hits caused by dull bits are a common manufacturing issue. Next one is finger. Finger means metal pads along the edge of a board used to create a connection between two circuit boards. Then next is panel. Panel means a large circuit board composed of many smaller boards which will be broken apart before use. Then next one is plane. It is a continuous block of copper on a circuit board. And finally trace. Trace is the continuous path of copper on a circuit board. Then next is some important PCB design tools are OrCAD, Circuit Wizard, Eagle PCB, Circuit Studio, KeyCard and Allegro. We are using Windows 10 operating system with KeyCard version 5.1.74 this tutorial. Next is why we are using KeyCard. KeyCard is free and open source electronic design suite. It can create PCB circuits for free with more advanced features. It can be downloaded from this website. It supports various platforms like Ubuntu, Linux, Windows, etc. Next is what are the main steps in PCB design? First step is to create schematic for the desired circuit. Then generate netlist for this schematic. In third step, we can map components with corresponding footprints, and finally we get a layout of the given circuit. We will use simple LED circuit as an example circuit for this tutorial. Okay. When you install KeyCard, then you can see the KeyCard icon on your desktop screen like this. When you double click this icon, then this kind of window will open. To start a new project, click on File and then click on New Project. So to start a new project, click on File, then New Project. Give a name to the project. For example, Project 1. Simply Project 1. Then save. Then note that the project is getting saved with .pro extension. Note that where your project getting saved and change the directory if needed. Then click on save. Then we can see two files are created. Circuit schematics are made in KeyCard using EEschema. Let me show how to start EEschema in KeyCard. So clicking on this file, that is project1.sch, then opens the schematic editor or EEschema window. We will now place our first component, then go to right panel of EEschema window, then click on place the component button. So here we can see place symbol. then click on. Okay. Now the place selection window will open up. Now we will place resistor in the EE schema window. In the name field of component selection window, type resistor. So it will show the search results. Then select the result and click on OK. So then OK. Place the component in the schematic sheet by clicking when you want it to be. So place the component in the schematic sheet by clicking where you want it to be. Then to zoom in and zoom out for better view, use scroll button of your mouse. Okay. Then you can also use F1 and F2 keys to zoom in and zoom out respectively. Then right click in the middle of the component and select. So right click in the middle of the component and select properties, then edit value, then go to edit value. Then you can find a edit value field window. So here we can edit the value of that component. Okay. Then you can achieve the same result by hovering over the component and pressing V. So when pressing V, we will get the same window. So to the edit value field window, this is the edit value field window. Then replace the current value R with 470 ohm. So in our circuit, the resistance value is 470 ohm. Then enter OK. Then to place another resistor, simply click where you want the resistor appear. The symbol selection window will appear again. The resistor you previously chosen now in your history list. So appearing as R. So click OK and place the component. In case you make a mistake and want to delete a component, right click on the component and click delete. So right click on the component and click delete. And you can over the component you want to delete and press delete key. You can also duplicate a component already on your schematic sheet by hovering over it and pressing C. So C. Then by pressing C, we can duplicate the component. Next we need a light emitting diode known as LED. So we need only one resistor. So next we need a light emitting diode. In component solution window, type LED and click OK. So component selection window open, then enter LED and select LED and click OK. So and place LED here. We need a power supply, that is VCC and ground terminals. So on the right panel of EE schema, click on place power port button. Here we can see place power port button, then click once on the EE schema to open the component selection window. Here we can see a list of power notations. So here we can see a list of power various notations. Then choose plus 5 volt and click on OK. Then choose plus 5 volt and click on OK. So place the component here. Okay. Similarly, to get the ground terminal, choose the ground from the list and click on OK. So similarly, search ground and select ground and click OK. So this is the ground. Okay. Next component is a terminal block. So we also need a terminal block. Then click on the EE schema to open the component selection window. So select place symbol, then click on EE schema to open the component selection window. Then type here screw terminal. Then choose screw terminal option. Then choose screw terminal option and click on OK. So this is screw terminal. Okay. Now the components are ready. Now I will arrange the components by moving them to appropriate places. We will use shortcut key M for moving the component. To move a component, keep mouse point on the component, say resistor, then press M. Okay, then we will place this resistor to right of the LED. So in order to move a component, keep mouse point on the component and press M. Then we can move the component. Then now the components are ready. Next, we will use the shortcut key R for rotating the LED and aligning it vertically. So we are using shortcut key R for rotating the LED. Okay. Now we will see how to interconnect or wire the components as per circuit diagram. In order to that, we want to arrange the components as per the circuit diagram. So move resistor, move LED, then rotate the screw terminal by using R. Then we can edit the value of screw terminal by using the key V. Then click OK. Then OK. Now the components are ready. Then we will now interconnect. Then we are going to interconnect the components. Then now we will see how to interconnect or wire the components as per circuit diagram. Let us start the interconnection of components. On the right panel of EE schema, click on place wire button. So the right panel of EE schema window, we can see place wire button. Then click. Then single click, double click. So we will now interconnect the resistor with LED. Then single click, single click, double click. Then connect the ground to the LED and single click, single click, double click. Then connect the screw terminal to the ground and VCC, single click, double click, single click, double click. Now the connection is completed, that is schematic for desired circuit is created. Then we will now see how to annotate components. Annotation gives unique identification to each component. Annotation will replace the question mark on the components with unique number. So here we can see question marks on each component. Say J question mark, R question mark, D question mark. So by doing annotation, it will replace the question mark on the components with unique number. So on the top panel of EE schema, click on annotate schematic button. So on the top panel of this window, we can see annotate schematic symbols. Then click it. So then a annotate schematic window will open. In this window, keep the default configuration. Then click on annotation button. Then click on annotate button. So we can see annotation complete. Then close the window. Okay. Now notice that the question mark on the components are replaced with a unique number. So the question marks are removed. The question marks on the components are replaced with a unique number. Now J1, we can see J1, R1 and D1. So the annotation is completed. Then run the design rules checker by clicking on the perform design rules check icon on the top toolbar. Next step is run the design rules checker by clicking on the perform design rules check icon. Here we can see a perform electrical rules check icon. So click on this icon, then run. So here we can see some errors related to power line. So to remove these errors, it is now necessary to add power flags. Then close this window and go to place power port and search for power flag which is in power library. So then go for place power port icon and search power flags and select power flags and OK. Then click OK and place power flags here and one or more power flag is needed. Then make a copy by using C and place the other power flag here. Okay, so place two of them, then connect them to ground pin and VCC. Then connect them to VCC and ground. Okay. Again, we will now check our schematic for errors. Then click on Perform Electrical Rules check icon on the top toolbar. Then click on Run button. Now we have 0 errors and 0 warnings. So the errors are removed. Then close the window. Okay. Now the schematic is now finished. So now the schematic is finished. Then the next step is assigning footprints to the components. The next step is assigning footprints to the components. In order to that, go to Tool. In order to assign footprints, go to Tool and click Assign Footprints and click Assign Footprints option. Then a window will open now. The footprint libraries are loading. Okay. Then in order to assigning footprints to the components, then go to Tools and click Assign Footprints option. Then a window will open. Okay. Okay. So the window opened. This window has 3 parts. The first part contains footprint libraries. The second part has the components in our circuit, and the third part has filtered footprints. For LED, the first component is LED. For LED, select here LED. Here we can see LED THT. Then select the package for LED. So here now I am selecting LED THT LED T5.0M. Then double click on it. Then for terminal block, we can select terminal block. So terminal block and select the footprint for terminal block. Then double click on this, and for resistor select resistor here, resistor THT. Then select resistor, then select axial resistor. For resistor, okay, for resistor we can select this footprint. Okay, then double click on it. If you are interested in knowing what the footprint you are choosing looks like, you can click on the view selected footprint icon for a preview of the current footprint. This is the view selected footprint icon. Click there By using this 3D viewer icon, you can see the 3D view of that component. So here we can see the 3D view of resistor. Similarly, we can see the 3D view of all components. Okay. By using this icon, footprint view selected footprint icon, we can see the components. Then now the footprints are selected. Then you are done. You can save the schematic now by clicking with the button apply save schematic and continue here. Apply save schematic and continue. Then click OK. Now the footprints are assigned. Then we can now create a netlist file to which we will add the footprint of each component. So in order to create netlist file, then click Tools, select Generate Netlist File. So in order to create netlist file, click Tools and select Generate Netlist File option and click here Generate List button and save under the default file name. Okay, now the footprints are assigned, then net file is created. After this, go to Tools. Go to Tools and update PCB from schematic. So after this, go to Tools and click on update PCB from schematic. Then update PCB and close. So now we get the footprint of circuit. Then zoom out the footprint using window mouse wheel. Then place footprint on the middle of schematic sheet by left clicking. Okay. Then zoom in. Okay. Now we can see the footprint of LED, resistor and screw terminal. Now we can see the footprint of LED, resistor and screw terminal. Then next step is rearrangement of these footprints. Then we can move all components around until you minimize the number of wire crossovers. Then next step is rearrangement of these footprints. Then we can rearrange these footprints like this. In order to move, press M. In order to rotate, press R. Okay. Then Okay, now the rearrangement is completed. Then okay, okay, so now the rearrangement is completed. After that, now we will define edge of the PCB. So after that, after the rearrangement, we will define edge of the PCB. Then select edge cuts option from the drop down menu in the top toolbar. So this is the drop down menu. From this, we select edge cut option. So select edge cut option. So edge cuts. So select edge cuts. Then click the add graphics line icon. Then click add graphics polygon icon on the right toolbar. So in order to define edge of the PCB, select edge cuts from the drop down toolbar and then click add graphic polygon icon on the right toolbar. Then trace around the edge of board. Okay. Then clicking at each corner. Okay. Then clicking at each corner, single click, then single click here, then single click here, and finally double click here. So edges are defined. Here then we are going to design a okay. So edges are defined. So here we are going to design a single sided PCB. So select bottom copper layer from the drop down menu and select root tracks option from the toolbars in right side. So here we are going to design a single sided PCB. Then select bottom copper layer from the drop down menu. Then select root tracks option from the toolbars in right side. So in right side we can see root tracks, and in drop down menu we can see bottom copper. So this is bottom copper. So first select. So before that select track thickness. So I am going to select 1 mm thickness. So there is no 1 mm option. So edit predefined sizes. Then add 1 mm and click OK. Then select 1 mm thickness, and in order to draw tracks select bottom copper and then select root tracks option from toolbars in right side. Okay. Then draw track according to the connection lines. So left click, bottom copper, okay, then draw tracks according to the connection lines. Okay. Then to draw the ground track, I am using add field zone feature in keycard. So to draw ground track, I am using add field zone feature in keycard. So go to right toolbar and click on add field zone of feature. So in right toolbar we can see add field zones. So click add field zones. click add fill zone option, then single click here, then a window will open. So here select bottom copper and here select ground, then set a clearance value. So here it is 0.508 mm, so it's a safe value, then click OK, then draw like this. Ground. Okay. Single click, single click, single click, finally double click. Okay, now the fill zone formed, so which will automatically connect the ground. Then we are going to show its legend printing. Go to Front Silkin drop down menu, then go to Front Silkin drop down menu. Here we select, then we can select the layers also. Here we select bottom copper, not front copper, bottom copper and bottom copper. We need edge cuts. Then we need bottom mask. We didn't need front mask. So select bottom copper, front silk, bottom mask and edge cut. Okay, so now the layers are selected. Then save. Okay, then now our PCB, okay, now PCB design is completed. Then in order to show the 3D view, go to view and 3D viewer. Okay, go to view and 3D viewer. Now we can see the 3D view of the board. Now we can see the 3D view of the board. You can drag your mouse around to rotate the PCB. So you can drag your mouse around to rotate the PCB. So now PCB design is completed. Then your board is complete. So to send it to a manufacturer, you will need to generate all Gerber files, because you can generate Gerber files for each layer and send them to your favorite manufacturer who will make board for you. So in order to that, you should create Gerber files also. So to create Gerber files, close it and go to file, then choose the option plot. Okay, then here we can select the layers. So bottom copper, select bottom copper, front silk, bottom mask and edge cuts. Then enter a name in output directory. So I'm typing Gerber Then okay, then give plot and generate drill files also. Then drill details also saved in the same folder, and click on generate drill file, then close. Okay, now we can close. So when we check the folder, we can see the schematic files as well as the Gerber files also. So now our PCB design is completed. So okay, then check the file. So here we can see a folder Gerber. So in this file we can see the schematic files as well as the drill files also. So now our design is completed and we can send these files to our manufacturer. Then they will generate a PCB board for you. Then so let us summarize what we learned in this tutorial. In this tutorial we learned to use eSchema in KiCad for creating the PCB layout. So I hope you understand the PCB layout design in KiCad. So that's all about this video. Thank you.